What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a hero deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck that you can summon out all sorts of awesome boss monsters to help you go in for game. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go and get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos. Stratos is definitely a 3-of in the build because when this card is summoned, you get to add a hero monster from your deck to your hand, which is such a powerful effect to instantly grab the exact card that you need. We then play a single copy of Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is a great 1-of in the build because when this card does touch the graveyard, you get to add a hero monster from your deck to your hand, and also, if this card is special summoned, you actually get to add a change quick play spell from your deck to your hand, but you can only activate 1 effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. We play a single copy of Elemental Hero Neos. Neos is definitely a 1-of in the build because this card is an awesome combo piece that helps us step into all sorts of really cool fusion plays like a copy of Evil Hero Neos Lord or even Shining Neos Wingman. We then play 2 copies of Evil Hero Adusted Gold. Adusted Gold is really good as a 2-of in the build because this card has the ability you can discard this card and then add a Dark Fusion or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, grabbing the exact card that you need off this card's effect. We then play a single copy of Evil Hero Dead in Prison. This card is really insane as a 1-of in the build, but you really only need a single copy of this card because it is searchable, and this card is great because it has the effect that if you control a fusion monster that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon this card once per turn. This card also has the ability you can send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you fusion summon a hero monster this turn, this face-up card can be used as a substitute for 1 material mentioned on it by name, but all other fusion materials must be correct, which is a great effect to use this card as a fusion substitute for the exact monster you want to summon. We then play a single copy of Sinister Necrom. Sinister Necrom is great as a 1-of in the build because you can actually banish this card from the graveyard to special summon an evil hero monster from your hand to your deck, except a copy of this card, which is a great ability to instantly summon out the exact monster you need. We then play a single copy of Infernal Rider. Infernal Rider actually searches Super Poly, which is so crazy. This card has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually add a Dark Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can also banish this card and 4 other monsters from the graveyard to set a Super Polymerization from your deck, but also you cannot special summon except for hero monsters, but you can fusion summon monsters that must be special summoned Dark Fusion using other cards effects, basically being able to use your copy of Super Poly, which is insane. And these effects last until the end of your opponent's turn, which is such a powerful effect. We then play a single copy of Vicious Claws. Vicious Claws is an amazing new 1-of extender in this deck, and this card is really good because you can actually target a hero monster on the field and special summon this card from your hand in defense position. And if you do, that monster gains 300 attack points, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's really good just to instantly bring this card out to your side of the field. Also, this card has a once per duel effect that if a monster you control is destroyed by a battle of a card effect while this card's in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. Then, if you have a monster that mentions Dark Fusion in your graveyard, you can destroy 1 card on the field, non-targeting, which is such a powerful effect to be able to use. We then play 3 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. Destiny Hero Malicious is really good as an extender in the build because you can actually banish a copy of Malicious from your graveyard to special summon another copy of this card directly from your deck, which is such a powerful effect. And play a single copy of Destiny Hero Denier. Denier is really good in the deck as a 1-of, because this card is basically like the 4th copy of Malicious in the deck. As this card is ability, it's normal or special summoned, you can actually take one of your Destiny hero monsters from your deck, graveyard, or banishment, which we're usually actually use one from our banishment that's our copy of Malicious, and then we place it on top of the deck, which you're again usually going to use it with your copy of Malicious to place it back on top of your deck, so you can banish one from your graveyard to be able to summon the one you just put back, which is so cool. Also, this card is a once per duel effect that if you have a Destiny or monster on the field or in the graveyard other than a copy of this card, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, which is a really cool effect. We then play a single copy of Destiny Hero Plasma. Plasma is great as a 1-of in the build because this card is a one-sided skill drain and a relinquish, which is insane. You have to tribute 3 monsters to special summon this card to your side of the field, and also you negate the effects of all face-up monsters that your opponent currently controls, and once per turn you can target a monster your opponent controls and equip it to this card, and this card gains attack equal to half the monster that's equipped to this card's attack points, which is such a powerful effect to be able to use to basically just use this as a one-sided skill drain. We then play 3 copies of Vision Hero Ferris. Vision Hero Ferris is really good as a 3-of in the build to be able to use this as an engine in the deck, as you can discard one other hero monster to special summon this card from the hand, and if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually place a Vision Hero monster from your deck in your spell and trap card zone as a face-up continuous trap card, which card you're always placing is your copy of Vision Hero Increase. I absolutely love Increase in the deck because this card has the ability, if this card is treated as a continuous trap, you can treat a hero monster to special summon this card, and if this card is special summoned from the spell and trap card zone, you can actually special summon a level 4 or lower Vision Hero monster from your deck, which we're always summoning our copy of Vion directly from our deck off this card's effect. And Vion is great because this card is actually a walking Foolish Burial, and if this card is normal or special summon, you actually get to send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, and once per turn you can actually banish a hero monster from the grave, and then add a Polymerization from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to instantly grab Polymerization to help you go in for your fusion plays. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is really good as a 3-of in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Drollin Lockbird. Drollin Lockbird is really good in the build as well to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck for the rest of the turn. We then also play 3 copies of Fluros. Fluros is great to be able to basically help us dig into the deck for the exact cards that we need. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is great in the build as a 1-of to basically help us add the exact warrior monster we need from our deck to our hand, like a copy of Stratos, so we can start going in for our plays. We play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is great just to stop your opponent's hand traps when we're going in for all of our plays. We play a single copy of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is really good in the deck as a 1-of, just to stop cards like Droll that your opponent might be playing. We play a single copy of Triple Tactics Talent. Triple Tactics Talent is really good as a 1-of in the build to basically just use this card to either let us draw 2 cards, take control of an opponent's monster, or look at our opponent's hand and choose a card from it and shuffle it into the deck, which is really good to be able to do in this build. We play a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is great to help us send the exact hero we need to the graveyard when we need it. We play a single copy of Polymerization. Polymerization is great in the deck to help us just go in for our fusion plays, and definitely give us a like for this one, guys, because we're using the hero Polymerization. We then play a single copy of Miracle Fusion. Miracle Fusion is searchable off your copy of Sunrise, but it's great as a 1-of in the build to basically just use this card to help us fusion summon into an elemental hero fusion monster. We then play a single copy of Dark Fusion. Dark Fusion is great as a 1-of in the build, and I absolutely love this ultimate rare. But this card is great to actually help us summon out our evil hero monsters. It's just a really good 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Dark Contact. This card is really good in the deck as a 1-of and just such a powerful fusion spell. With the ability, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each of the effects of this card once per turn. But you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your action deck that must be a special summon with Dark Fusion by shuffling its materials from the field to graveyard or banishment into the deck. And this is treated as a fusion summon with Dark Fusion, which is a really powerful ability that we want to use in this build to instantly go in for our fusion plays, or you get to add a copy of Dark Fusion from your deck to your hand, which we're always just using this card to be able to fusion summon. We then play a single copy of Super Polymerization. Super Poly is searchable off your copy of Infernal Rider, which is why I play this card as a 1-of in the build. We play a single copy of Mass Change. Mass Change is great in the build as a 1-of because it is searchable off your copy of Shadow Mist. We're just using this card to step into Dark Law currently. We then play 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny is amazing in this build. It does lock us into dark hero monsters for the rest of the turn, but that's totally fine because we're basically just using this card in the build to help us step into a copy of Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, which is one of the most powerful hero cards ever created. We then play 3 copies of A Hero Lives. A Hero Lives is really good in the deck as a 3-of because if you control no face-up monsters, you can pay half your life points to special summon a level 4 or lower elemental hero monster directly from your deck to your side of the field, which is an amazing effect to be able to use to instantly bring out Stratos or Shadow Mist to your side of the field to help you either get a search or get a search of your copy of Mass Change so you can step into Dark Law depending on what you're playing up against. We then play 3 copies of Evil Assault. Evil Assault is such a powerful 3-of in the build because this card is able to discard a card and then take a level 4 or lower evil hero monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Also, for the rest turn after this card results, you cannot special summon from the action deck except hero monsters, which is totally fine because it's all we're summoning anyways. And also, if this card's in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card in the graveyard to add a Dark Fusion from your graveyard to your hand, which is a great effect to help you recover your copy of Dark Fusion. We then played 3 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust. Thrust is great as a 3-of in the build because this card can search so many different cards, which is insane, to instantly grab the exact card you need off your copy of Thrust, and it's just such a powerful 3-of in the build. We then played 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. Droplet is great in this deck because we have so many different cards we want in the graveyard, from Shadow Mist or a copy of Malicious. This card is just really good at helping you break your opponent's board while also getting cards in the graveyard, and it's definitely a 3-of in the build to help us OTK your opponent. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 2, starting off with a single copy of Favorite Contact. Favorite Contact is really good at helping us step into our copy of Shining Neos Wingman during the opponent's turn, because this card lets us basically put the materials back and recycle them to step into our copy of Shining Neos Wingman, which is great to be able to use our copy of Neos plus Infernal Rage to be able to step into that card. We play a single copy of Dark Supremacy. This card is great as a 1-of in the build and helps out so much in the deck to actually let you target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Dark Fusion and spell cards that mention it in the graveyard, and negate their effects until the end of this turn, which is a great ability to be able to use to basically just use this card as a negate. Also, if this card's in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it and target up to 5 hero monsters in the graveyard and our banishment and shuffle them into the deck, helping you recycle your resources. But this card is definitely a 1-of in the build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Evil Hero Neos Lore. This card is so easy to summon in this deck and such a powerful card to be able to make. It does require an Elemental Neos plus a copy of an effect monster on the field, which is so easy to make in this build. This card has the ability it must be special summoned with Dark Fusion and cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, making it very difficult for your opponent to deal with this card. Also, if this card is special summoned or a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard while this card's on the field, you can actually target a face-up monster your opponent controls and take control of it, which can really disrupt your opponent's plays. With my single copy of Malicious Bane. Malicious Bane is is my favorite hero in the entire game, and definitely comment down below which one your favorite is. But Malicious Bane is definitely my favorite. But this card is so cool as it must be special with Dark Fusion. It cannot be destroyed by battle by card effects, and during your main phase, you destroy all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card. Also, this card gains 200 attack points for each monster destroyed this way. Also, you cannot declare an attack for the rest turn except with heroes, which is totally fine, as that's all we're attacking with anyways. We may have seen a copy of Darkest Night. Darkest Night is really powerful in the deck as a 1F, and I feel like a lot of players actually underestimate this card, but this card is really, really good. It has the ability that it does require a Fiend monster plus a Warrior monster, which is very easy to do in this deck, and also it has the ability that it must be special summon Dark Fusion, and monsters your opponent control lose attack equal to the total original attack of the materials used for this card's fusion summon, which is insane to be able to do, because it can actually drop your opponent's attack points down by a lot. It can make a second attack during each battle phase, and in this phase of special summoning card in its own control leaves the field by an opponent's card, you can actually target a Fiend or a Warrior in the graveyard and special summon in defense, which is a super powerful effect. We may have seen a copy of Inferno Wing Backfire. Backfire is really good as a 1F in the build because it does require a copy of a Burstinatrix or an Avion, but you can use your copy of Dead in Prison to make this card because it is a fusion substitute and also a hero monster to make this card, but it must be special summoned with Dark Fusion, and if this card is special summoned, you can actually add a Dark Fusion or a card that mentions it from your deck or graveyard to your hand, helping you search out the exact card that you need. And if your hero monster destroys an opponent's monster at battle, you inflict 2100 points of damage to your opponent, helping you just go in for game. And let's see a copy of Elemental Hero Shining Neo Swingman. Shining Neo Swingman is so cool to be able to make because this card can pop multiple cards on the field, and it's one of the most powerful cards in the entire X deck because it gets absolutely massive, and it's just a really cool card to help you go in for game. And let's see a copy of Infernal Rage. Infernal Rage is one of the two materials we use to be able to step into our copy of Shining Neo Swingman, and when this card is summoned out to your side of the field, it actually has a really cool effect that you can actually add a favorite card from your deck to your hand, which is a really cool ability, and it's just a really good card overall in deck. You can also trigger this card that was special summoned using a null monster, your copy of Neos, as a material, and then special summon a level 7 or lower elemental monster from your deck or your extract that cannot be normal summoned or set, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is a pretty cool effect to be able to use. And we have a single copy of Sunrise. Sunrise is great as a 1F in the build because this card actually searches your copy of Miracle Fusion. We have a single copy of Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Wake Up is really good as a 1F, just to help you OTK your opponent, and it's a really good card to be able to summon using your copy of Miracle Fusion, so you can easily summon it out to your side of the field and make it absolutely massive. We may have a single copy of Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. DPE is just so good in the deck to help you pop cards on the field, plus monsters your opponent control lose 200 attack for each hero monster in the graveyard, which is so cool when you combine this card with your copy of Darkest Night to basically just drop your opponent's attack points down to 0, which is crazy powerful, but this card is great to help you pop cards on the field and go in for game. Like a single copy of Dark Law. Dark Law is really good in the deck as a 1F, because this card helps you banish cards, and also it has an insane ability if your opponent adds a card from their deck to the hand, except during the draw phase or the damage step, you can actually banish a random card from your opponent's hand, which is such a powerful effect. Let's see a copy of Wonder Driver. Wonder Driver helps us recover our different fusion spells. This card is great as a 1F in the build. One copy of Infernal Devicer. Devicer is great in the deck to help you actually grab your copy of Neos from your deck to your hand. And then finally play 2 copies of Cross Crusader that finally got a holo printing, which is so cool. This card has the ability, if this card is Link Summoned, you can actually target a Destiny Hero monster in the graveyard, special summon it, and you can also tribute a Destiny Hero monster, add a hero monster with a different name from your deck to your hand, grabbing the exact card that you need, which is such a cool effect. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a hero deck before, you should definitely give this 60 card build a try. It's so fun to be able to play, and it's insane how powerful it is to help you just go in for game, and it's such a fun deck to be able to play, just to summon out all the awesome hero monsters to your side of the field. So that's gonna do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of notification squad. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.